Awesome. So today, you guys, I want to share with you what the Legacy Builder program is and why the Legacy Builder and what it can do for you. Because that's the most important thing, right? Because I don't think anybody is on here today going, I just want to take more time trying to figure out how to make money from home. So, what I want to do is, I want to, first of all, kind of show the story behind the Legacy Builder program. And one thing I want to share with you guys, it's not a course. You don't need another course sitting in your computer that you're really excited about, but 3 days later, that energy's gone. Like I call that the treadmill moment, right? You get all excited, and then a few days, the emotion is gone. The exact same thing happens in courses, right? If it didn't, there would be millions and millions of millionaires, right? But because we get unmotivated easy, because we get back into our old habits and patterns, I want to help you understand why the Legacy Builder is a program, because it is an interactive program that not only will show you guys how to make 900 a day, it is literally going to show you how to make that 900 a day in passive income, but it is literally going to show you step by step how to also create a reoccurring income stream. But I'm going to show you how to do that through your email list, because in your journey of making an income online, I want to take you from launch your business to profit in 7 days is the first step, right? And then once we do that, we're going to really start understanding who your perfect customer is. And you're going to have an automated business out there working for you, fully automated from the very moment somebody goes into your system. Congratulations for looking at the Legacy Builder program. I'm so excited you're here, and I can promise you after this video, you're going to have a clear understanding of exactly what can happen to you being inside of our digital growth community and following the Legacy Builder program. So you might be listening to me right now going, man, Michelle, I just want to make some extra cash. I want to kind of get some pressure off, or maybe you want some of that fun money. Or maybe you're listening to me going, man, I really want to get out of debt, start saving some money. I would love to learn how to make 300 a day, which is 109,000 a year. Or maybe you're listening to me going, I want to go for more of that higher six figures. I would love to learn how to make 600 a day, which is 219,000 a year. And many of you might be more like in a legacy builder mode, and you're like, man, I want to take advantage of what's going on in digital marketing, and please show me how to make 900 a day, which is over $328,000 a year. Would that change your life any? Well, you guys, my name is Michelle O'Neill, and back in September of 2022 is when I discovered this process. And prior to discovering it, I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I'm a mom of 6 kids. I only have 2 left at home, and time was slipping away. And I have 5 grandchildren. And you guys, time is the most important thing to me. And when I discovered this process, I was like, oh my gosh, if I can just learn how to make 54,000 a year working 2 hours a day, that would change my life. Because inside of the process, you guys, it shows you how to follow a 2-hour workday. I know, crazy, right? But it shows you how you could get your income earning activities done in 2 hours away. But let me share with you why. It's because of systems like this. Because of pages like this, you guys are going to be out there working for you 24/7. This is how I built a global business. It's pages just like this.
Awesome. Timer's set up, ready to go. Here we go. Just get ready. Hey guys, my name's Tim, and I am a dad of 5 kids, and I live out here in California. And I was in the corporate world. My story is probably very different than a lot of people. I literally come from the corporate world. I spent 25 years there, and I was never really home. The best way to describe it when I say I was never home, I always had a cell phone. I was on a laptop. They came into my office after 25 years, and they sat me down and said my role had been eliminated. I don't know about you, but you ever lost a career that you really just you did enjoy it, but there was a lot of things that you didn't like about it, but you showed up anyway and did it because as we're raised, right? We're kids. I had 5 brothers and sisters. Sit down, shut up, and listen as we were raised, right? You do exactly what you're told, not as I do, right? And then we get good grades, go to school, do all that, settle down, marry, have a family, get a home, and have a career, and then retire. Who put in the comments one if you've ever heard that story before, because that's how I lived, that's how I was raised, right? And I did all that, and I never thought my wildest dreams where I was in my career, never thought in my wildest dreams I would have lost my career, because I was an impactful player in that company, massively impactful for the decisions and the direction where that company went. And it's a company that y'all well know, just so you're clear. But here I am. I said, I got laid off, and then I said I went home for 5, 6 months and kind of decompressed. The elephant came off my shoulders. I got to date my wife again. I actually got to know my kids again. It's really funny if you ever lose it and you kind of like decompress from that role. You're like, holy crap, you never realized the weight. That was the one thing. I never realized the weight, the stress, the pressure, how I showed up. I showed up ready. I always say the corporate armor that we put on before we go to work, so we don't have to show a smile. We laugh at people that we wouldn't laugh at normally. We would just say, yes, this is what I need to do. But here's what I realized after being home. I said I never wanted to go back. I actually flew 4 different in other states from California for interviews to other companies. And the one thing, I get on that plane and get ready to come home, and I go, and these were good companies. I would come home and I go, I just can't do this again. I just can't. I got home. I started to see some things around the home. And I will say something for you. A lot of you guys that are dads out there, you need to be home with your kids. They need you as they need as much as your moms. Their relationships and the things that I talk about nowadays, the gaming, the movies we watch. I'm telling you, this business is way more than just all the money you're going to hear. It is way more than the noise you just heard in my background. But we're at home. We stay at home dads here. Come on, this is the best. I hear a lot more than that normally, and I got to be in under my 5 minutes. But here's what I'm going to say to you: we're home. This is what it's about. Stay at home dads. Your kids need you. If there's anything I could ever tell you, you may not know it because that's not how you were raised. They need you more than you can ever possibly imagine. And I will just say this to you: I came across a video just from Michelle here that actually just said you could learn the skills how to make $300 a day. Well, I was like at a point where I had started looking for an online business, and I'm like, there was 3 things that I was looking for in an online business. Number one, can I talk to somebody if I ever get stuck? Like, you know how it is. Like, okay, can I talk to somebody? I'm 55 years old at the time. I just needed to know what I could do. It's 56 actually. Can I get help if I need it? They said they had training. So I'm like, okay, they said all these things. Now it's like, okay, I'll do it. So I made a decision, believe it or not, in one night. We were in the hospital. My son had surgery, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, showed my wife, Marcy, what are you thinking? I said, you know what? I'm going to. But literally, I made a decision on this business in one night, just so you know. Now, as I got into here, I'm going to give you 5 tips that I think are the most important things. And my story, even before the tips I give you, I want you to share something with you. I didn't make any income for the first 3.5 months. Don't get don't get nervous. Oh my God, what am I doing this for? I want to share something with you. I'm about on the verge of hitting $200,000 in less than 13 months. And I made no income for 3.5 months. The key behind that story, though, is these 5 tips. See, one day, and I own that though. I own that because, see, that moment, the reason I didn't make any income, I never talked to my mentor. I never said a word to her. I, believe it or not, I'm an introvert, a very loud one, but I'm an introvert. And here's the thing about that is I never asked her a question. That's why I tell you, I own that, right? So we own the decisions we make, we own where we're at. And I understood that. So the day I asked, it was July 27th. It's the day that'll always go down in history for me, is we were on a Zoom call. And here's the thing, I did every training, everything. I showed up every day, every training. And then all of a sudden we had questions back and forth. 4 questions later, 3 days later, I started making daily pay 11 days straight. And then in 14 days, I made my first $4,050. Why do I tell you that? Is because there are 5 things I believe you need to be to have a successful online business. Number one, you have to be coachable. When I tell you sit down, shut up, and listen, or you won't get hurt, that was what our parents said to us when we're running around like crazy and your kids are driving your parents nuts. Well, we were part of that. Sit down, shut up, listen. Trust me when I tell you, I say that out of love and kindness. Number 2, this is really important because you have to be consistent every day. You're going to hear something about the common denominator about all these people that are actually doing the 6 figures. They're very consistent. There's not a problem that gets in the way where they don't show up for the people, because you're not doing this business for yourself. You're doing it for other people just like you, trying to get out of whatever or add on to whatever better life you want to have. Be clear on that. So number 3, which I think is the most important tip I could ever give anybody, the greatest tip I can possibly give you, is to be authentic. I am me. There's only one unique person about me. I tell people my golfing stories. I tell people my struggles. I'm okay with that because I am human. I am like anybody else. I just did and made different choices, not necessarily better, different choices. I chose to show up. I chose to be coachable because I am not giving anybody back my time. To think of one thing, I gave 25 years of my life to someone else, and now they can come into your office and go, "We don't need you anymore. Thank you for your time, and thank you. Have a good day." But number 4, so I said coachable, number 1, being consistent with the right message. 3, be yourself. It is so cool. There's something refreshing about not having to put a costume on, put armor on, any of that, and just be yourself, talking about, hey, because I realize not everybody's going to see what I see. They're not going to purchase. Not every person that comes on there is going to do it, but there's a lot of people that do. And I said number 4 is have patience and grace. Because I knew for 3.5 months, I had patience and I had grace on myself. And number 5, we're going to talk about heavily is your mindset. I am not the person that started on March 8th of 2023. I am not the same person that I am today. So if there's anything, I will leave it on this final note. You're at a place where there's a bunch of people. I did a mentoring call for my community. I was on there for 4.5 hours answering questions. Because the leadership and the example that Michelle's given us, we're here for you to be successful. It's just a choice. Whether you do it or you don't, it's your choice. It's going to be okay. But there are people out here on this call today that are sick and tired of being sick and tired of where they're at. I just want you to know there's people like myself, Michelle, and you're going to meet a bunch of other people that are willing to do a training and give of their time so you're successful. We know this works. See, we don't have a doubt. We have no problem. We're here for you. We will guide you along your way, and just get in here as fast as you can, because I'm telling you, it is absolutely life-changing. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the change. Thanks.
What was number 5?
Mindset.
There you go. Somebody asked what number 5 was. So.
Oh, no worries. Mindset, all about the head.
Yeah, there you guys go. Awesome. Thank you, Tim. And I'm so proud of your success. And you said what, you're just a little bit shy of 200,000 in 13 months?
Yeah, I'll hit it this month.
I'm so happy that I knocked fear in the face and I said yes to this amazing opportunity. So my name is Allison and I'm a special needs mom who cannot work out of the house. When I was on TikTok, I saw a live video that was talking about a 2-hour workday and learning how to make daily pay. And I said, oh my God, I need to try this. And I am so happy that I did, because I am literally not even 2.5 months in. I made $13,000 as a complete newbie. And I stink at technology. So I was so scared that I was going to need technology. I did not. So I'm just saying it has been such a dream come true. This community that we have got added into is absolute gold. Everybody wants everybody to win, and it's nothing like I've ever seen before. So I'm just so happy that I said yes to this, that I'm learning absolutely all the skills that I need. And I know when I look back at this a year from now, I'm going to be a part of that $1 million club. So it's amazing. Very, very amazing. I'm so happy I said yes.
You know, the opportunity presented itself for me while I was traveling, still busy. I said, you know what, let me go ahead and lock in my spot, right? Literally, before I even got my website back, I had persons waiting on me ready to get started, right? So in my first week, I'll say it's less than a week, maybe in about 6 days apart, I was able to generate $1,200 using this blueprint, all right? Fast forward, because, you know, times have changed so much. Less than 2 weeks in the company, you know, picking up my momentum, and about my 3rd week, I literally generated almost $3,000 in 1 day. Now listen. and I'm blown away by this. You know, I'm having fun. It's not overpowering. I get to do this when I want to put in the effort to go the extra mile, and it's absolutely amazing. You know, the community, love being a part of the community. So many amazing people, the great teaching, the support. If you are on the fence, borrow my belief, all right? Borrow my belief and you say yes to this amazing opportunity. All right.
I'm 67 years old. I have a wife, 4 kids, 12 grandchildren, 10. We found out last week, 11, and we found out later this week that our 11th great granddaughter is a girl due in September. So I have 10 grandchildren. They're all boys except 7 girls. But what I want to tell you is you're never too old to do this. I'm 67. We have people 80, 84. We have people that are 18, 19, and everybody in between. Look quickly around the screen at everybody that's here. That shows you that anybody, I don't care what your situation is, everybody can do this successfully. We have people from all over the world, all different types of lives, all different situations, and they're still being successful. I've been a realtor. I used to say I started at 20. I actually didn't realize it. This month starts my 48th year. I actually started in real estate at 19 because this is the start. This month is my 48th year. And I made a lot of money over the years, and I made not a lot of money over the years because it does this. And I won't go into all the times I've been broke, but I can tell you I have been. And when I saw this, I had about little over 2.5 years ago, we lost an income in the family due to health reasons. I started working in a big warehouse. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you have a pretty good idea. We're talking 19 acres, 885,000 square feet, 7.5-minute walk at a brisk pace, and a pair of steel-toed boots across the concrete. I walked 13 to 16 miles in a 10-hour shift. The problem was I was an hour each way. 10 hours meant I was gone from the home 12 hours. 5 hours meant I was gone 7 hours. What happened was I saw Michelle, my mentor, who popped up and said, "Hey, make this amount of money with a 2-hour day." And I went, that can't be right. She must put too many zeros on the end of that. I watched her for about a week, saw some other people, and said, man, I'm all in. The reason I did that is I was working 70 to 80 hours a week. I still found time to put the 2-hour workday with your income earning activity in the nooks and crannies of my day. 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 45 minutes, an hour. You know, as realtors, sometimes we take 2-hour lunches. I didn't do that. I figured it was time well spent to do it. And you know why? The 14 hours a week that I work replaced the income of the 35 to 40-hour week second job that I had had. That didn't include gas. That didn't include the 2-hour drive to and from. That was just the 35 to 40 hours a week plus everything else on top of that. Because of this business, I made that. I get a little emotional about this, but the one thing that I didn't know at the time that I quit my second job was right about the time that I learned that I was going to have to be a caretaker for my wife. Good Lord was watching out for me. And I can tell you, the 12 hours I was gone is over. The 7 hours that I'm gone is over. I am here for her. We have good days and we have not so good days. But you know what? It's for better or worse. And that's why this business means so much to me. Not only am I making great money, we have fantastic friends. Let me tell you this. The people, I'm what Michelle calls an OG. I've been around a while. And let me tell you, I have more people in this community ask me about my wife on a regular basis and how things are going than people I've worked with in real estate for 15 years. If they see my face, they may ask me a question. They don't. 200 people in a warehouse, multiple nights a week, 50 of those people, 10, 15 feet apart, work with. One person. After I've now been away there 5 weeks. This last Saturday was 5 weeks that I have not had to go to that job. I had one guy who I'd worked with for 2 years as my supervisor reach out and say, hey, we're still praying for your wife. How are things going? You're really missed. Out of 200 people and 50 pretty intimately that I worked with, I get more than that just from the people in this community on an ongoing basis. I tell people that this community will restore your faith in humanity because the people that are in here care. They want to celebrate you. They don't care if you're making more money than they are. They don't care that you made money more quickly than they did. Everybody celebrates everybody else and brings everybody else along. You know, I tell people there's 15,000 people plus that are standing beside you and behind you. Not one single person, because you make 100%, not one single person is standing in front of you as some of the other businesses we've talked about going, what's in it for me? I'm your upline. I'm your, sideways, whatever. Not one person. This community will absolutely change your life. The people in here, the opportunities, Michelle hasn't told you, but she is continuing to release additional training. If she released everything she has in her brain right now, it would be like trying to drink out of a fire hose. What happens is she lets us do it a little at a time. And to give you an idea, a few weeks ago, we have training in here for how to find your perfect customer. It's different for all of us. 4.8 million people on the planet that are in social media. If only 1% of those people want to make a change in their life, that's 48 million people. There's 15,000 people here. We haven't even talked to the 1%. I mean, that's the incredible part. And there's more than enough for everybody to have more than enough. That's the thing. We don't step on each other's toes because we all have different clients and customers. We all have different stories that attract people different ways. But she gives it to us bit by bit so that we can understand it, implement it, and then move on next week and learn something new. To tell you what this woman stands for, we went in to do a Find Your Perfect Customer. It's supposed to be 2 hours. She was there for 5 hours. 5 hours. Not making a dime from anything she's doing because it's part of the community. Yes, she was still making money in her business because she is still involved in her business. But she sat there for 5 hours to make sure that everybody that was on that call got their questions answered and understood what they needed to do. That tells you everything you need to know right there. So I always tell people, do yourself a favor. Get back with the person that sent you here. Get with them and get off the fence, for God's sakes. You know, if you've been scrolling for 6 weeks or 6 months, how much money have you made? Probably none. Get off the fence, go back. It doesn't take anything at all to be able to get the free information and look at it. What if you spend 2 or 3 minutes and decide it's not for you? You unsubscribe, move on down the road. But what if it's exactly what you've been praying for? What if it's exactly what you've been wishing for and hoping for? What if it's that? And you didn't take the time to look. God bless. You all stay safe. Have a great evening. And thank you for being on here tonight.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jeffrey. Love it. Love it. And I love the fact that you're home now. So good. So good. Life-changing. That's what it's about. Money is just the byproduct to get us to the places and the people that we need to be at and with. So absolutely love that.